ඕගොල්ලන්ගේ කාවද හොස් කරන්න ඕනේ. එතකොට මට අයින් වෙන්න පුළුවන්.
සර් ශාස්ත්‍රව දාන්න සර්.
සස්නාවනේ. හරි දාලා මම අයින් වෙනවා. ඕගොල්ලෝ කරගෙන යන්න.
හරි සර් තෑන්ක් යූ. Dulanji, are you here?
She hasn't joined yet, no, so let me read.
We shall start. I think her party's at the end. Let her join by the time.
Is that okay? Will she know like where we are? Okay, she gave a thumbs up. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll start. Hello and welcome to Module 3, Best Practices of STEAM in Early Childhood Education. Today we will be looking at Lecture 1, Understanding Parents in Nurturing Children. This is the introductory session which conducted by Padmaja YV ma'am. She is a teacher and educator. She is also a facilitator in teaching phonics. Next slide, please. Madam has 13 years of experience in kindergarten and she is also a video editor and she works at the Sharada Vidyalaya Public School in Bengaluru. Next slide, please. So looking at today's topic, understanding parents in nurturing children. Now here we can see there are three people there with equal weight when it comes to this topic. We have to have the families, the students, and the teachers, and each one has to work with each other. You can't have one person working with the one and not with the other person. Then it is not going to be a balanced way, and the child is not going to get the best at what is required. Next slide. As teachers, there are certain expectations in what the parents' involvement would be. So, teacher expects these three things mainly. Homework assistance, that what the teacher assigns to the children, maybe it is something to supplement their work that they done in school or to help to make concept stronger. So, it has to be done on the particular day as homework or the day that it is assigned for. So it follows the study plan and the homework will be sent. Parents expected by the teacher to do it accordingly. So sometimes there are situations where the parents might be not having enough time or they can't assign day. So then sometimes the teacher's expectation doesn't work out, and when they think that the child will come ready with the activity the next day, it won't be. So there are things like that that we have to have that balance, that connection between the parents, the family, and the teacher. The second point is reinforcement at home. So here we need to have a clear dialogue between the teachers and the parents to inform them of what the child is learning in school and how the parents can reinforce these ideas home. So they can be done not through maybe sit down study times, but through general play and day to day activities. For example, if the children are learning colors, the parents can help the children get the children's help, sorry, to sort the vegetables once they've got shopping back. So it can be sorted or the color, then the children maybe put the vegetables and fruits in the specific places so they understand sorting concepts of fruits, vegetables. They can count. If the mother is cooking, she can say, can you please give me 3 potatoes and 2 onions? So here we are reinforcing the concepts that the children are learning in school, but it doesn't really have to be worksheets or study hours. Then collaboration, higher expectation is once the student is put into the school, the parents teachers of that
Thank you, Shweta. Yes, as we say,
Memory is not available.
yeah, but we were right. There was a connection problem. No? Shall I start?
Yeah, you can continue, Dilshad.
Parents' expectation and involvement in this. We the parents, they expect teachers should do everything in academics. So sometimes they don't have understanding what they are doing. Can you? Is it good? Shazna, is it audible?
Yes.
A little.
Can,
It's not audible.
can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Yes,
Can you please tell them?
Can't you see the slide?
Okay, right. Shall I start then?
Yeah, continue.
Okay. So some parents think that teacher should do everything in the school, and they don't have proper understanding in child studies and even timetable activities happen in the school. Sometimes some parents don't come for parents teachers meetings after the exam or whatever. We ask them to come to talk about their children. So we see different types of parents in the academic field we meet. Next slide, please. Yes, when we take the understanding parents in nurturing children, different parents treat the children in different ways. So when we see the first picture, they can see parents pamper the children. So what they do is they give everything to children that they need and no need, so that the child is pampered, and in school also they expect from the teachers to be pampered. So this is one type of the parents. And when we see the second picture, the child is doing the work by her own, and there is no involvement. There is no parents involvement. And when we take the third picture, the child has given freedom to do the work, but there is a guidance given by parents. And also the third picture, also fourth picture, also you can see the exploration. The freedom is given by the parents for the child. And the other picture, when we see a good environment has provided by the parents to the children to study, and to study in the freely, to study freely. So in Sri Lanka, also we can see different types of parents need in our academic field, so that we should understand the different types of parents, and parents also should understand about the teachers. Next slide, please. Yes. And also, when we take the barriers or the challenges, we have communication barriers and also technology challenges. When we take communication barrier, when we take language challenges, we have actually, when we take Sri Lanka, we are a multilingual country, so that some speak Sinhala, some speak Tamil, and some speak English. So international schools, most of the children speak English, but some children, their mother tongue is Sinhalese or Tamil. And all the parents are also sometimes they have language barriers, so that it's very difficult to communicate with the teacher and the parents. Because sometimes the teacher, when the teacher sends a note in English, the parent can't understand, and so sometimes can't talk in English, so that they don't face the teacher because of this language barrier. And there is another problem we have: technology challenges. Most parents give their mobile phones to children when they are fussy. And also, if the parents have lot of work, what they do is, when the child becomes fussy, they give the phone to the children, and what happens after some time, they are addicted. So that there are some technological challenges we have when we take the child in academic field. Next slide, please. I think it's for
Right,
Shazna.
yes.
Shazna, to you.
Thank you so much, Dilshad. So now we are under the topic of understanding parents in nurturing children. So evolving educational expectation and curriculum. As teachers, we should know. So under this, there are three subtopics: complex assignments, technology proficiency, and specialized curricula. So complex assignment means, as an early childhood educator, as a teacher, we should give some practical assignments for children to take home projects. For an example, just imagine you're having a science exhibition and you're telling your child to make a solar system for an early childhood child. Is it possible? A child. So practically, we have to think, when you're giving an assignment for the child, it should be based on the child, not the parent will too. Because if you give complex assignments, what happens is, when normally the parents are doing the assignments at home, and then they are like representing on the science day, or for an example, art and craft exhibition. There are many activities, practical activities, and days we are celebrating at school. So make sure when you're providing an assignment, it should be based on the child's level. And again, there are some, as Padma ma'am said, Meena ma'am said about this. As Meena ma'am said about technology professors, there are some schools where they give presentations for children to make presentations through technology. I don't think so it's possible at all. So as we say, okay, you can give some, yes, the children are like advanced in the technology, but making a presentation is not possible at all. So make sure you have to give something really practical, easy for a child. Even specialized curriculum. So when you're planning the curriculum, maybe it should be like, you have to think the parents' point of view, whether the parent will able to understand. So we are saying like inquiry-based learning, play-based. Well, we have different. We can't say give activity for a parent and tell we expect from the parent do an inquiry-based lesson based on this. So we can't give kind of complex curriculum for parents. As teachers, we can like have our own curriculum. But when you're understanding the parents' point of view, you have to make sure you give very simple, very simple, easy assessments like activities for children. Next comes, branding the child. Now, as a parent, sometimes, normally the parents will say, branding the child means, okay, you are like, you're very naughty. You're very shy. You are like unable to study. You can't do anything. You can't do this. As teachers also, we brand the children. So what you have to do, make sure you should tell positive words for your children. Yes, you can do it. You are so creative. You can color it neatly, nicely. Like you can say, you're a very smart boy. So positive, there are two types of branding: positive branding and negative branding. As teachers, as a parent, we always make sure say positive words to the children. So you can't give any sort of negative branding for the child. You have to say you're working hard, like you are very creative. Likewise, you give positive branding. So as teachers also, when you provide compassion, love and care, yes, you will get a better a better growth of the child. So love, compassion and care as a teacher, we should not about the children, we should always we should have for the parents as well, because we don't know what kind of situation the parents are in. So there are root causes, maybe single raised in single parenting household. That means maybe there's one, maybe the father is not providing, or sometimes the mother and father is working. So you have to be like, as a teacher, you should understand the level of the parents as well. There will be dual income, blended family, so rigid work schedules, unsupportive employers, discomfort with involvement, busy schedules, conflict values. So these are like some problems problems are faced through the parents. So as a teacher, we should always understand the side of the parent as well, because we can't say like, okay, we can't, maybe sometimes the child must have not done the homework. You can't like, just like that, you can't blame the parent, because there should be something there at home also. So we should understand, as a teacher, we should always spread the love, care, compass for not for the children, for the parents as well. Over to you, Delanji.
Thank you, teacher. Yeah, this slide is about understanding parents in nurturing children. So first picture is about identify. Actually, identify what is the challenge with the parents. We need to identify that. We as teachers, we help parents to work with kids, because like parents don't know how to get connect with their children properly. Even though those children belongs to them, they don't have proper idea how to deal with them. So we are giving activities or something that they can sit together and do. Like parents are not supposed to do everything in these activities, but still they have to have a good connection between the children and the parent. But with the interaction, the bond can be like developed. Meena ma'am says that for the class, there are not every children in a one particular class we take. If we take one particular classroom, there may be not everyone is facing difficulties or problems. Maybe 4 to 5 families have much more like bigger problems. So we can talk to them, like, and support them to deal with the kids. Then they will open up and share their problems to us. As teachers, we need to handle those kind of things like that. From that, we can understand the problems related to children as well. We can talk to them, we can help to them to overcome or solve those problems to develop children. Ultimately, at the end of the day, these all problems are going to the children. So somehow directly or indirectly, the problems will anyhow affect the children. That is why we have to interpret, and like, instead of arguing with the parent, acknowledge. The next one, we need to acknowledge instead of arguing with the parent. Rather than arguing, first accept. Once you accept, they will surrender to you. That's what Meena ma'am said. Yes, I can understand the situation, I can understand your problem. Okay, I accept that this will be happen. But likewise, you have to talk to them and make them comfortable. Then you can solve the problem easily. They will definitely open up and share their experiences, and you have to create, you can definitely create a solution for that. Next slide, please. Right. This is about strategies for improving parent-school collaboration. First one is flexible scheduling. Second one is multilingual communication. And third one is technology support. Scheduling. Not in every time, but generally, if a parent can't come to parent-teacher meeting within the school time, you can reschedule a discussion. Okay, and anyways, tell them like gently that this is the only last time that we can accept. Not every time we can't accept that each and every person we can't give time to discuss. You have to come to the parent teachers meetings, but for this time we will offer this one. Likewise, but next time you have to participate normally as scheduled for scheduled meeting, etc. And multilingual communication means when there is a parent who can't speak like commonly used language, what other teachers also can't speak that language, you can hire, or like if you can manage with different kinds of languages, that will be really helpful for them. Try to communicate with them and like make them understand. Use simple words. You can definitely use simple language, simple words to make them understand very well and easily. And technological support. When we talk about technological support, we have to like educate parents the minimal things that you need to use for children's work. Actually, uh, for an example, if you take WhatsApp messages, some of the parents are not comfortable with the WhatsApp even, but you have to anyhow create WhatsApp groups because you are dealing with a school, you have different classes in a school. So classes wise, they have parents special WhatsApp groups. So you you need to educate them to create these kind of things. This is technology related from WhatsApp groups. They have to interact with that. So try to give the support for these kind of a technological support. Next slide, please. Yeah. This is understanding parents in nurturing children. Under that, building trust and partnership. In here, these are the most important aspects to help build trust and collaboration with parents. Actually, first one is empathy and respect. Empathy towards teacher from the parent, and also from teachers to parents are equally important. To the both, not in one side, both sides has to be there. Look at from their point of view, and without like judging them, we need to respect them. That is kind of a things that should happen. And the second one is transparency and consistency. Without hiding, we have to reveal the truth. It's not just about child's learning, their behavior, parents challenge, sometimes the teachers challenge with the particular child can communicate with the transparency. Some of these teachers are struggling with kids, but they are not revealing that kind of a behavioral matters to the parents. Teachers will think that the admission or the child will be go to another school if we talk about these things. Likewise, but you have to have a very good transparency. Consistency means continuously, like observation and continuously doing the activity or whatever the task is more important. Like for an example, once a week parents are talking to their child and they play with the child, but that is not enough. No, the consistency is required. Like every day allocate a little time duration, like play together, work together, and interact with the child is more important. Like it will works like magic. The bond will definitely create. The third one is collaborative problem solving. Should be with the parents and the teacher to support the child. The trust and working together to flourish children. It is much more important to collaborate with them. From that, I think the next slide will be presented by our teacher. Right. That is the end of the presentation. Thank you so much.
Good evening, everyone. This is the group presentation of Stage 1, Group 1, English Medium of International Project for Capacity Development of Early Childhood Care Development Teachers in South Asian countries. Today our lecture is Foundation for Growth. Next slide, please. Yes. Our academic lecture facilitator is Mrs. Hajmada YV. She has 13 years of experience in kindergarten teacher, and she is an educator and facilitator in teaching phonics and also video editor. And she is a teacher of Sharada Vidyalaya Public School, Bangalore. Next slide, please. Yes. Today we are going to see how to focus on children in holistic development. So you can see there are 4 letters: GROW, G-R-O-W. So G means goal, what the children can achieve. So we have to see whether the child or the children, there are different types of children in a class, what the goal children can achieve during a time period. And we can see the R, reality. Reality means whether the goal can be achieved or not by the child. So the teacher should see actually the child can really achieve this goal what we have set out. And here you can see O, option obstacle. So the teacher should have many options to reach this goal to the child. So for example, if the child is not able to read, if the child is showing any reading difficulties, the teacher should find some strategies to reach that goal by the child. And when we take W, will, way forward. Actually, the teacher should think and have an action plan. What we are going to do next. So to child's development, the teacher should plan a lot of activities and make the child develop not only in academic and other fields also. So we call it holistic development, all around development in a child. Next slide, please. Yes, when we take holistic development, we talk about multiple intelligence also. So holistic development is, holistic education is all-round growth of a child. It's not just focusing on academic field, it's the development of the whole development. For example, physical development, emotional development, social development, cognitive intelligence development, and spiritual, language, gross, fine motor skills development all come together as holistic development. So this holistic education builds confidence, self-esteem of the child. They learn how to respect others, respect the elders, teachers, and they will have sense of responsibility and empathy, love, kindness, mercy, and also communication skills will be developed in this holistic education. So to teach the children about holistic development, holistic education, the teacher is also should be holistic. She should have a good curriculum to include all the activities to develop all around growth of the child, so that the child not only be development in academic field, and also the child will be developed in other fields like emotional, communication skills, and love, mercy, empathy, and love to the environment, these things will approach the child because of these holistic education. So let's see how we can develop each and every child in these holistic skills. Next slide, please. I think Shazna should take over. Over to you, Shazna.
Thank you, Dilshad. So first we are going to see about the physical development of a child. So physical development is the key aspect of overall growth of the child. Like it's like coordination, then the health and the cognitive function. First comes the fitness. So first thing we have to focus on a regular exercise and like activities for strengthening muscles for the child. Like you can make the child do a small sports like dancing, swimming, so which encourage the fitness skills. Next, the nutrition. Nutrition means that the child should have a balanced diet of food, which is essential for child's growth. So you can like proteins, carbohydrates, fats, vitamins, and minerals. So it's very, very important to have a nutrition diet for a child's development. Next, rest and recovery. Rest and recovery means a child should have a good sleep at home. So according to the age group, they have like you can Google it and see that according to the age group the sleep pattern is there. So rest and even recovery means they should rest at home also. Resting is also one of the most important important activity for the physical development of the child. Next, we are going to see the physical building of physical coordination and motor skills. So gross motor skills means what? Gross motor skill means activities like involving the larger movements of muscles of a child, like jumping, climbing, like you can see running, throwing. So these kind of activities. You can do these kind of activities in outdoor as well. So fine motor skill involves like smaller muscles, like muscles for a child. So like for an example, buttoning a shirt or cutting using a scissor. So drawing. So these skills actually we have to give activities based on gross motor skills and fine motor skill. And then the spatial awareness. So that means the child should be able to understand the relationship of the object and the object and the others. So for an example, kind of a distance, a child should be able to understand the distance. So when it comes for a like a bowling game, the child should be able to understand, okay, what is throw, what is catch, or what is kick, these kind of things as well. Next, we are going to move into the emotional development of a child. Emotional development means what? First comes the self-awareness. So understanding one's own emotion and thoughts and the behavior. So we always make sure the child should have a positive attitude and the child should recognize like what is positive, what is negative, what is strength and what is weakness. So as a child we should teach them the positive the self-awareness. Next comes the empathy. Empathy means what? Empathy means ability to understand sharing of feelings of others, like how their friend might feel. But if one of their peer friend is sad, the child should be able to understand like how to comfort the friends. So this like empathy, which is very important, it benefits the social skill of a child. Next comes the emotional resilience. Emotional resilience means managing and controlling the child's emotion. So the child should be able to manage his or her emotions. For an example, maybe the child didn't get what he or she wanted. So the child shouldn't be like, there are children who like burst out and loud cry and they throw tantrum. So as a teacher, we should always teach the child about the emotional resilience to control their anger, reduce stress, like focus well, and then more into interaction. Then comes the social development of a child. Social development means first comes the interpersonal skills. Interpersonal skills mean the ability of child to communicate with their friends, or we can say others. So this with interpersonal skill, which like improves the child's like teamwork, like a real, we can say they could be like a solve a problem, and they can even take as a role play, a peer mentor, we can say. Then cultural awareness, the child should be able to know the different cultural aspects, and they should beliefs and values and respecting the cultural awareness is also very important. Next comes the community involvement. When what we as a teacher, we should always make the child to involve in community awareness, like you can say recycling. Normally we do these kind of things, recycling, like giving charity. So you can just imagine there is a nanny at school, so you can just tell the children to bring something, maybe some quantity of rice, we can say dal, we can say some sugar, so we can make the child to like children to get into a group and donate. So community awareness is also very important for a child's development. Okay, thank you so much. Over to you, Dilanjay.
Thank you, teacher. Yeah, this slide is about foundations for growth, cognitive development goals. In here, you can see the sensory motor, that is, and also pre-operational reasoning. It has two sections. In the sensory motor, in the sense, it is the period from birth to 2 years of time. In this particular time period, child always wanted to touch and feel and wants to explore environment to learn new things, right? Pre-operational reasoning, in the sense, 2 years to 6 to 7 years of time. The period the children are involving with the kindergarten from 2 years and onwards. In normally Sri Lanka, we are getting children to our kindergarten. So we have to build the thinking skills, nurture children, like not only cognitive development, problem solving, creativity, reading, explore and understand the pictures, numbers, language development, answering questions. Likewise, we have to deal with those things. And next slide, please. Next slide, please. Thank you, teacher. This is intellectual development. Actually, it has 3 parts in here. It all becomes under the cognitive development goals. The intellectual development is the next one. Lifelong learning, critical thinking, and creativity. These are the 3 sections of intellectual development. In here, you can see lifelong learning, in the sense, cultivate a growth mindset and continuously seek out new knowledge and skills. You know, from the kindergarten level is the beginning stage, the fundamental, the foundation of a children's learning process. And it is not going to be end with that. We are putting the foundation to the entire development of the children. So kid is a lifetime learner. We have to think about that, and lifelong learning process is there. Critical thinking is in the sense, problem solving, like well-informed decisions. We need to develop them to get those kind of things. And also creativity. Explore creativity outlets to foster innovation, self-expression, and a deeper understanding of world. We need to give the path to improve the creativity. Explore creative, like self-expression has to be there. Next slide, please. Developing early literacy skills. Actually, under cognitive development goals, developing early literacy skills are much more important. The first one is, it has 3 parts according to ma'am: phonics and letter recognition, sight word development, emergent reading. Under phonics and letter recognition, before the in the developing early literacy skills mean before the age of 5, the 85% of child's brain will develop. The phonics is a very good method. Instead of like memorizing the spellings, for an example, CAT cat. Likewise, there is spellings now. So instead of memorizing the spellings, you can just simply take the phonic sounds. K at or k at cat. Likewise, it is very easy for children to understand that can be reading on, and sight words development, in the sense students begin to recognize and read like commonly high frequency words. We take THE, it is not a phonic word. We can't tell it from the phonics. We can show these sight words and practice them continuously. You can paste the words on the wall, and like even in the bedroom, the child will easily, very much important in here. Emergent reading, in the sense, from these methods, like the early reading will be very easy, and it will definitely tend to improve their reading. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Fostering numeracy and problem solving abilities. In here, these are dealing with the numerical, like number things, solving problems, abilities, and like number sense, mathematical operations and problem solvings are there. Under number sense, like from like hands-on activities, from play-based activities, we can develop kids' number sense. In the sense, counting, recognizing relationships, differentiate between mathematical concepts such as like long and short, big and small. Some of the kids are always saying when they when we are like talking about long and short, they just simply say this one is big, this one is small. But we have to learn about the concept of long and short. So we have to give the mathematical, we can differentiate these kind of a mathematical concepts with the play-based activity, even from the building blocks, as even the materials we have already in the kindergarten. So also mathematical operations like adding and subtraction with building blocks can be definitely developed. Like problem solving related to mathematical concepts also there. You can just simply take the materials that you have in your kindergarten or in the school. You can take those like and create play-based activities and do these kind of a learning with very easily. Thank you. And next slide will goes to our teacher. Thank you.
Thank you, Dulanji. So now we're looking at encouraging creative expressions. So when it comes to creative expressions, there are three components that we can look into: art, music, and play. So art is where children explore a variety of art media and techniques to express their creativity. Music is where students engage in singing, movement, and use of simple instruments. Play is where they use imaginative and open-ended play, which allows them to explore, learn, and have fun. Now, a really great method that ma'am told us was to use rhymes, which incorporate all of these. So if we take a rhyme, it always has a picture gone with it, so the children remember what's happening in it. Example, if we take the rhyme of, say, Little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet. So the picture comes to the children immediately, and then they can picture a little girl sitting under a tree and a big spider coming and all of those things. It also has music, the rhythm and the beat. It helps the children to remember the words and the order better. Then they can play act these as role plays. So this kind of thing is very fun and engaging, and rhymes are a great way of teaching children values as well as introducing new concepts. Next slide, please. Now, when we are teaching, it's very important to have clear outcomes. We need to know what we are going to teach and what we want out of this activity or lesson that we are going to work on. So, the teacher needs to prepare early, know the children's knowledge when they start, and what they expect at the end of it. So, when it comes to these outcomes, we need to be able to measure it as well. So, there can be observations, checklists, and also portfolios helpful for the teacher to later on communicate with the parents and tell them where the children actually stand, whether there is something that they need support with, or whether there are areas that they are excelling in, and that the parents can maybe help them because they have lots of interest in that specific topic or theme that they've been working on. Now we can see examples here of portfolios, and the teachers have prepared the checklist. So these have to be prepared according to the child's specific age and what they can actually achieve. It has to be achievable for them physically as well as mentally. Next slide, please. The curriculum. Now, when we take curriculum, we always have to think about holistic development of the child. We can't only focus on one or two aspects. So, looking at holistic development, we can see components: physical and gross motor, fine motor, sensory, self-help, language, cognitive, emotional, social, as well as spiritual. Now, for example, if we take the topic animals, how are we going to incorporate all of these activities into that theme? So, physical and gross motor, we can have games where the children have to move like these animals that we are talking about. Fine motor skills, we can ask them to maybe draw or color pictures or draw in the sand the footprints of these animals. For sensory, we can get the children to touch and feel. We can maybe bring a little bunny to the school, or we can bring a hen, things like that. We can take them to a visit to a farm. They are actually sensing with all their five senses: the sounds of the animals, the feel of the animal, the smell of the animal, the touch, all of those things. Self-help. So here we are looking at a more intrapersonal aspect of how children perceive these animals. We can talk about what animals they like. Why do they like that animal? What animal they like to be if they could choose, things like that. When it comes to language, we can talk about the vocabulary. We can tell the names of the animals, their homes, the words that are used to introduce their base, things like that. Cognitive development helps us to, we can categorize the animals, we can have pet animals, wild animals, farm animals, and develop concepts like that. In emotional aspect, we can talk about how animals are often there to support us. Talk about how animals also have emotions. This can be tied in with the spiritual as well, where we can talk to children about not harming animals because they also have feelings and emotions just like us. And most often, the animals are willing to give and share with us rather than we are willing to give and share with them. The social aspect, the children can work on a little role play. They can play like a rhyme, the farmer in the dale, things like that. Or socially, they can, uh, when they go to the farm, there is social interaction. How do you interact with an animal? That is also a social interaction which children need to learn. So that is a simple theme that we can look into to develop the holistic child, not just one or two components. Next slide, please. Now, when we talk about preparing a child for elementary school, this comes at different ages depending on where they are studying. Sometimes, as in Sri Lanka, it's when they're 5+. That is when they're joining the formal education and they go into grade 1. So, children have to be ready in these specific areas, academic readiness, where children develop the foundational skills needed to succeed in the early elementary grades. So they have to have the foundation skills in literacy, mathematics, and all of those things. The children have to be able to know the basic sounds, know the basic mathematical concepts so that the teachers in the grade 1 can build on these concepts that they have already learned. Routines and independence. Kindergarteners learn and follow classroom procedures and take on age-appropriate responsibilities. So the children need to be able to be independent in certain aspects of what they have to do. For example, they've got to pack their own bags, they can take care of their pencil box, they need to look after their books. So that kind of routine and working on time, finishing their work within a given time duration. So that kind of thing can be prepared in the kindergarten. Then the transition support, which is very important because the teachers here need to act as a bridge between the early years and then the formal education. The curriculum and the teachers provide guidance to help children adapt to the changes of elementary school. Here they would have a more rigid system of where the timetable works and the children will have to change subjects. Sometimes teachers might move. So they have to be given that in small doses to start off with so that then when they go there, they are able to easily transition to the formal education. Thank you. Next slide, please. So we've come to the end of that presentation. I would like to thank all my fellow presenters and special thanks to Padmaja ma'am for teaching us these valuable lessons so that we can carry them forward to our classrooms and make our classes more interesting and worthwhile to our children. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. So I'm here to do a presentation based on exploring multiple influence through activities. First of all, I would like to thank Mr. Kamal sir and Rashmi ma'am for giving us this opportunity to speak in this platform. And then again, I would like to thank our lecturer, Ms. Padmaja ma'am, who had conducted this amazing lecture series based on the activities, and then our co-presenters here, Bimunu Goda, Dilshad Siddiq, and Dolanji. So today we are going to speak about exploring multiple insulency through activities. Some children, they like to explore, garden, like they like to observe natural things, and then we have already done, we have learned about this, and then they like to have animals. So we call this kind of children, who we call it as naturalistic. And some children in our classroom, they like to dance, they like to sing, they like to act, they like to craft. We call this as bodily kinesthetic children. And some children, they like to sing, they like to listen to music, they will tap on the school table, they will like to make like music, like musical thing, we call it as musical intelligence. And there are some students in your classroom who likes to draw, like they like I can say they like to draw pictures, they like to do puzzles, they like to look at pictures, and they are doing imagination activities also. So we call this intelligence as spatial intelligence. And then interpersonal intelligence means there are some children in your classroom who act like a leader. So they will say, teacher, let me arrange the class when the teacher is not around. The specific one of the child will come and say, okay, I'm going to I'll control the classroom, teacher, I'll manage everything. So we call these kind of children who comes with leadership, organizing skills, they have a very good communication, they are good they like to do maybe the school bags are not arranged, the bottles are not arranged. So this specific child will come and say, teacher, like this bottles are not arranged, let me arrange it neatly. So these kind of skill of a child, we call it as interpersonal intelligence. And then there are some students, they work in a schedule, and they like to work, we can say, they like to work independently. And then even if they make a small mistake, they will come and say, teacher, I did this mistake, I colored it out of the line, so could you please erase it and give me these kind of children, we say intrapersonal skills. And then there are some learners, they are like good at mathematics, like they are good at problem solving skills, like patterns, they are good at making puzzles, doing experiments, we call logical mathematical intelligence. And there are some students who are good at communicating, speaking, debating, writing, reading. So we call this intelligence as linguistic intelligence. So in our classroom as teachers, we should know there are different types of intelligent students are there. As we already learned, there sometimes it's not single, not one intelligence, there are multiple intelligent students in our classroom. So then Padmaja ma'am, she has given a self checklist. As a teacher, we can see what kind of intelligence do we have. So you can see, I enjoy reading books, I have always liked maths and science classes best, and I do well in them. I enjoy drawing and painting and doodling. So with this assessment sheet, you can evaluate about yourself, what kind of intelligence you're good at, what is your intelligence level. And then we talk about, the Padmaja madam spoke about the gross motor skills. So what is the meaning of gross motor skill? Gross motor skill again comes, as I said in the previous lesson also, using the larger muscles movements. So a child using a larger muscles movement, we call it as gross motor skills. So you can say walking, running, jumping, backward walking. We call this as locomotor activities, moving body from one place to place. Okay, next comes we can say mini basketball, dancing, splitting, balancing beam. So, like for mini basketball, dancing, and hopping, we can say object control activities. Again, balancing beam, dance, I mean, crawling through tunnels, jumping rope, hop, stock, these kind of we call balance and coordination activities. And then throwing, again, catching, climbing also comes under this. So, through gross motor skills, it strengthens the benefits, like it strengthens the child's larger muscle skills, and it improves the child's balancing coordination, and then posture skills, and it promotes social interactions through game as well. Thank you. Over to you, Dhananjay.
Thank you, teacher. These are fine motor skills. Actually, there are so many activities in here in this slide, which is related to fine motor skills. What is fine motor skills? Fine motor skills are very important before the child starts writing activities. Actually, it helps to strengthen finger muscles. A lot of activities can be done before giving the pencil. Each and every activity, if you take in this slide, threading beads. Those are like threading one bead with the thread. You're going to put into the seat, and a lot of concentration, lot of focusing, and lot of hand-eye coordination will be there. These are the fine motor skills that can be developed from these kind of activities. Playing with dough, that is also involving our fingertips, babies, kids' fingertips. Sorting objects like buttons, you can give different shapes of different kinds of different colors of different designs of buttons, and you can make them to sort by colors, by shapes, by the designs and all. So likewise, a lot of concentrations are involving with the fingertips and all. Buckling also, you can have some kind of a cloth or shoe buckling, and you don't supposed to need in every time the frames. You're not supposed to create frames. Actually, from the clothes itself, from the shoes itself, we have buckles. And pegboards in the sense cloth clips activities. Actually, not only for a board, you can just hang clothes, hang socks, hang little handkerchiefs, those kind of a pegging activities, and like matching colors with another cloth clip color. Likewise, same similar colors matching. Likewise, those kind of cloth clip activities can be done. Painting the fingertips and the whole hand, the wrist and this area of the hand is involving. Then scribbling is a very crucial thing that must do before giving the pencil to the children. Scribbling with like crayons, you can use pastels, right? And you can use paint brushes to scribbling. You can use any kind of things like newspapers, recycling papers, recycling boards, likewise cardboards, even the biscuits board packets. Likewise, you can use recycling things to create these kind of activities. And sandpit, it is very much crucial. Water splash activities, you can have sensory tables with water splash activities. Using scissors. Scissors are a very good finger moving activities. And crushing paper. When you crush a paper, when the child is crushing a paper, the whole hand and we are not talking about very big body parts. We are talking about the hand, fingers, and fingertips in these fine motor skills. The crushing paper, it involves everything. And glue and pasting, it's a very good things. And sticking some kind of a stickers also can comes under fine motor skills. Throw and catch ball, building blocks, lacing shoes, lacing board activities. Likewise, there are so many activities that can be comes under fine motor skills, to develop fine motor skills. Next slide, please. Yeah, in these activities, these are hula hoops, and it's on the floor. Can you try to find what are the intelligences, what are the multiple intelligences that you can develop through this one particular activity? This is a one particular activity. Even though it's a one particular activity, there are so many multiple intelligences can be developed. When someone thinks, someone can think that this is bodily involving activity, this is a kind of a game, so the kinesthetic intelligence is there. Not only that, logical mathematics actually, if we take there are a lot of like intelligence are involving, like because body moves, kinesthetic intelligence is there. The child should think what is the color he or she go next. The logical mathematical intelligence is there, and he or she needs to count these hula hoops, right, according to the color, and even he has to jump to the next one. Then after that, before that, we need to count it. So the logical mathematical intelligence is there. Also spatial. Children can walk. Not only children are jumping, they can walk. They have to know how much space they are supposed to go. So the spatial intelligence is involving. And interpersonal skills are also there. The children are interacting with each other. They are happily appreciating others by clapping and like socializing, waiting for the next turn, their turn. So from these activities, we from this specific one activity, we can cover many multiple intelligences. Okay, then the next slide, please. This is a seesaw, this is a seesaw, playground equipment called seesaw. So the definitely kinesthetic development is there, kinesthetic multiple intelligence is there, the body moves, and the spatial is there, interpersonal is also there. And in here, musical in the sense you can sing songs, or like according to the sound that the seesaw itself get, and also you can seesaw up and down. That poem can be like transfer your school's name, and you can apply that your school name into this poem, and you can sing the song with the children while they are playing with this particular equipment. So these four multiple intelligence are definitely developed. The next slide, please. Yeah, in here, some of the children, it's a crowd. Their interpersonal skills are multiple intelligence as there, and logical. You have to logically think about, and you have to count, and like kinesthetic, definitely body moves, and you are talking to each other. You're giving the blocks to one another, sharing things. The body moves. These kind of several multiple intelligence are involving in this activity as well. Next slide, please. Yeah, the next slide will take Vimri teach. Thank you.
Thank you, Dhulanjan. So here we are looking at an activity. Previous slide, please. Thank you. Okay. So here we can see a child setting up some building blocks. And this kind of activity will help with logical mathematical. The children can do this according to colors as well. Sometimes we can see children who put the blocks up according to one specific color, or they build patterns through this. So logical mathematical intelligence is developed here. Also spatial intelligence, because they've got to think about what piece can fit where, and about the spacing and where they can actually put these pieces. If they're maybe building a house, which piece will fit onto it. So that kind of spatial understanding comes into it. This activity is most often done on their own as an individual thing. So there is a lot of intrapersonal understanding going on as to what the child wants to do, what they aspire to do. So there's intrapersonal intelligence developed here, as well as kinesthetic, because they've got to hold on to these pieces and then they've got to set it up carefully. They need to understand where each piece goes. So there are 4 different kinds of intelligences that go into playing with building blocks. Next slide, please. Here we can see children playing outdoors. There are a lot of children playing together. So this is helping develop their gross motor skills as well as their fine motor skills, because they're holding on, they're climbing up, they're running, they're jumping. So lots of kinesthetic development. Spatial awareness when it comes to, because we can see there are spaces within this, there are those open spaces. So when they are climbing up and moving around, they need to understand how far do they need to stretch their leg, or do they need to use their arms as well to help them to cross that space. So they need to understand the space they're in. Interpersonal as well as intrapersonal. Here we can see the children on the outer side are playing together. So there's interpersonal where they're laughing and enjoying some sort of role play going on. But there is one child inside who's on their own. So there's intrapersonal as well, where they are on their own and they are reflecting within themselves. There's a logical intelligence being developed as well, because the children need to understand how they can go up there. Not only how do they go up there, they need to think about the next thing. How are they going to come down? So they need to start thinking ahead of whatever activities they're planning to do. Next slide, please. Swimming. So swimming is a great kinesthetic activity because it's developing their gross motor skills. Spatial understanding is very important here because the child needs to understand where they are and how far they've got to move. Are they going to move away from the wall just yet, or would they prefer to stay in the shallow end? That kind of understanding is also here. Intrapersonal, because this is a very individual activity. You can play games in water, but here you're swimming, so it's an intrapersonal thing where while you are swimming, you are within yourself and you start to think about the things that you can do, what you want to achieve, that kind of things. So logical intelligence is also necessary here again, because they are in water, they need to understand to what depth can they actually manage themselves. Are they going to the baby pool or are they going to the deep end? That kind of logical thinking and safety in this place is also something that the children need to understand. Next slide, please. Here we see an activity where the children are doing lots of outdoor activities. There are various things that they are doing. They're on bicycles, scooters, skateboards. The others are reading. The one at the back seems to be looking at a map and planning to go on some sort of little hike or expedition. So these are very kinesthetic activities and they are focusing on the naturalistic intelligence as well. So those who are interested and those who feel comfortable within nature and working with nature would love to do this kind of activity. They can be interpersonal or they can be intrapersonal depending on how they want to follow through with the activity. You need to have some sort of logical thinking as well as to where you're going, what you would want to do. If some other child with a bicycle comes towards you, how are you going to avoid them? So you need to have that forward thinking capacity as well. Next slide, please. Over to you, Dilshad, to explain this. Thank you.
Thank you, Vimali. Yeah, here we can see children playing musical instruments, and when you see them, that it's a group activity, and some children play guitar alone. So it can be interpersonal and also intrapersonal. Interpersonal because they should make the music together to have a very good rhythm, and intrapersonal they should play the guitar all alone. So there is interpersonal and intrapersonal activities, intelligence, and also musical intelligence is there, and logical thinking also there, because the child should play the guitar all alone and counting the beatings. So there is thinking in this activity. So logical intelligence also there. And bodily movement you can see. So kinesthetic intelligence also you can see here when they play the musical instruments. And also we can see fine motor skills, because the child should hold a piece of coin or something to beat the string, or to play the music in the guitar using the strings. So logical thinking and also fine motor skills also develop in this activity. Next slide, please. Thank you. And here you can see a group activity. The kids are playing something in a circle. Maybe it's a circle. They go ring a roses, or here we go around the mulberry bush or something. So you can see it's a group activity. So interpersonal intelligence is there. And also when they sing and go around the circle, you can see musical intelligence. And also when they go around, you can see they should have a knowledge of space. So spatial intelligence also develop in this activity. And bodily movement, they run or they go in a rhythm around the circle. So kinesthetic activities, kinesthetic intelligence also can be developed through this activity. And also we can see logical thinking, because they should go in a circle together. So logical thinking also here we can develop in this activity. Next slide, please. Yeah, you can see it's an intrapersonal activity, because she is doing alone exercise, maybe yoga or some exercise. So moving the body. So kinesthetic development is there, kinesthetic activity. And musical, sometimes when we do exercises, we play music, so that musical intelligence also developed in this activity. And the space, the child should know to use the space and do this activity. So spatial intelligence also developed in this activity. So intrapersonal, kinesthetic, musical, spatial intelligence can be developed through these activities. So in schools, normally we do exercises in the morning. Sometimes we have different days for meditation, yoga, so that multiple intelligence can be developed through these activities. Next slide, please. Here you can see some experiments they do. One child is just looking at the other, and they are having a role play. Maybe they are having a nice conversation. Both are in happy mood. So one child is planting some seeds. So here we can see naturalistic intelligence, and they do something. So bodily movement is there. Kinesthetic intelligence is improved. And you can see they are doing something on the table. The experiment is done on the table. So space, there should be understanding on the space. So that spatial intelligence also there. And interpersonal, because they both having a nice conversation, interacting with others, so that we can see interpersonal intelligence also can be developed through this group activity. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Yes. So here we are going to wrap up the lecture. What we want to tell is multiple intelligence can be developed in different activities, and also the teacher should know how to plan these activities to develop each and every child's holistic development and also multiple intelligence in their lives. So thank you so much, Mrs. Padmaja, for giving us a valuable lecture, and also Janaka Kamalgoda sir for giving us a good opportunity on this international platform. Thank you so much. No, darling.
A very good day to you. This is the module 3, level 1, STEAM education, best practices of STEAM in early childhood education. This is lecture 4. The title is Elemental Activities for Children. Next slide, please. This is our academic lecture facilitator, Mrs. Padmaja YV. She's a teacher, she's an educator, facilitator in teaching phonics, and a video editor. Sharada Vidyalaya Public School, India. Next slide, please. These are our co-presenters, Vimuri Nugegoda, founder, Wow World of Wonders Early Childhood Preschool, and Fatima Shazna Rafi, founder and co-trainer Phonics World in Sri Lanka, Dilshad Siddika, Naja International School subject teacher, myself Dulanji Dahanayaka, principal of MFM Montessori, Biagam. Next slide, please. Yeah. We are going to talk about the elemental activities for children. This is the introduction. We are going to explore the fascinating worlds of 5 elements, that means Panchabhutas, and how we can introduce them to preschool with the activities that we can do through engaging and educational activities. The 5 elements, as we all know about the 5 elements, Panchabhutas, earth, water, fire, air, and space. These are the fundamental components of nature and play a vital role in our lives as well as the world around us. Thank you. Next slide, please. In today's learning, we are going to focus about 7 basic elements. Importance of introducing Panchabhutas, 5 elements in pre-primary. Activities pertaining to 5 elements. Everyday activities that we can conduct in pre-primary related to Panchabhutas, and understanding concepts of multiple intelligence and Panchabhutas for lesson plans. How to connect the activities to multiple intelligences and Panchabhutas, and connecting STEAM education for each and every activity. And can we connect STEAM, that means STEAM, in every activity? These are the today's learning things that we need to focus. Next slide, please. These are the importance of introducing Panchabhutas in pre-primary. Actually, promote, it has several importance. First one is promote awareness. Understand and appreciate the nature, promote awareness of the nature. And definitely the nature belongs to the Panchabhutas. So awareness and promoting, understanding and appreciating the nature is there. Stimulate curiosity, exploration and discovery is there. Develop sensory skills, hands-on experiences are there. Teach basic science, fundamental scientific concepts are going to have a very good importance in Panchabhutas. And support physical development, motor skills, that means gross motor skills and fine motor skills. Foster emotional growth, building connection with the natural world. This is also a very good importance related to Panchabhutas. Emotional growth is developing. And encourage creativity, imaginative and creative play is there. Enhancing learning, integrate into various subjects. You can definitely you can integrate the lessons with the Panchabhutas. Next slide, please. Yeah. These are the connecting holistic development and multiple intelligences. As we all know about the holistic development, in the sense, not just the physical development of the kid, but the areas, there are several areas to be identified: physical and gross motor, fine motor, sensory, self-help, language, cognitive, emotional, social, spiritual. Likewise, these are all interconnected when we are talking about the holistic development of the child. And also, on the other hand, multiple intelligences. As we know, there are 8 multiple intelligences. And the holistic development components, we are going to connect with the multiple intelligences. As you can see in here, The language, the under holistic development, the language development is much more connected to the verbal linguistic intelligence. And cognitive development, it goes with the logical, mathematical, and linguistic multiple intelligence. And social, when you take social holistic development, it's related to the interpersonal multiple intelligence. And self-help goes with the intrapersonal. It's more related to one person, so intrapersonal. So physical and gross motor, physical and gross motor holistic development component will goes with the visual, spatial, multiple intelligence. Then fine motor will goes with the bodily kinesthetic one. Then the emotional will goes with the musical one, because it's dealing with the sound and emotional matters. And then sensory will be going with the visual, spatial, and also naturalistic multiple intelligence. And spiritual goes with the naturalistic multiple intelligence. Next slide, please. Yeah, these are the Panchabhutas as we talk about previous lessons, 5 elements: space, air, fire, water, and earth. From next slide onwards, Vimri teacher will continue. Thank you.
Thank you, Dharanji. So now here we are looking at how we are going to incorporate the multiple intelligences, the Panchabhutas, and the STEAM education to the themes that we are working in with our children. So first we are looking at the sky, discovering the space. Now, activity is making a rocket with origami skills. So the intelligences that can be used here are spatial intelligence, kinesthetic, because we need to fold the papers according to the given way to build the rocket. There's intrapersonal as well as interpersonal. Once the rocket has been built, you can maybe see whose rocket goes the furthest, or you can race your friends. When it's intrapersonal, it's your rocket. You can decorate it the way you want, and you can make up a story about what you are going to do in the rocket. So you can focus inwards towards yourself. Then it's naturalistic, because you can go outside and do it. You can do it in the garden space, so the children will like to move around, and when the wind blows, see whether their rocket will go further, that kind of thing. So the elemental aspect here is the space. Then looking at the STEAM activities for science, we can talk about rockets. What are rockets used for? Space expedition, just simple things about what the rocket is for that age category that we are working with. The technological aspect is knowing about the parts of the rocket system. So again, it will be just the basics. So we will have the rocket, and we can maybe have another activity to go with this, where they can take the bottle, turn it upside down, and put the water to it so that it blasts off with the force of the water. Designing a rocket for engineering. So that's where we can take an empty bottle, recycle materials, and make another rocket. Or even the origami rocket can be used with recycled paper as well. Paper folding for the art, then even decorating the rocket that we have made is artistic. Then the mathematical concept can come into the shapes included, especially when we are folding the origami. We will have to say to use the corners to make a triangle, make a square, that kind of thing will also be used. Next slide, please. Now here we are still on the topic of the sky and space. So we are going to make a bird glider with origami. The intelligences we are focusing on spatial, to see how far the bird can fly, where will it land. Kinesthetic, because it's fine motor as well as physical. Once you've got to run off to your bird and all that. Intrapersonal and interpersonal, just like the rocket we talked about before, and naturalistic more on here because it's a bird and we can talk about real birds that they've seen, maybe go on a little bird watching expedition, see what the birds' colors are, what sounds they make, so that the children have a more realistic idea of the bird once they're making the origami. The elemental aspect, we are still focusing here on space. Then the STEM activities, science, we have the force of gravity. Because the bird can't always go upwards, we realize that it keeps coming down, and then we can start talking about why does it come down? What is this force that is keeping us all down, grounded on the earth? Then for technology, how aeroplanes fly like birds. We can look at the olden day planes and see how they were formed, how people tried to mimic the bird's flight and then build the aeroplanes based on those concepts. For engineering, designing and decorating the bird glider. For art, drawing and coloring, again, the decorating of the wings and all according to the birds that they've seen. Then they can count the birds flying. Can you find how many times the bird flaps for 1 minute? The teacher can say, okay, start, stop, and then they've got to count how many times did it actually flap. Then count the claws in a bird that you see. You can see, especially when you go outdoors, it's very easy to see the 7 sisters that they're called. So you can count and see how many there are. Then you can play the games with the children where you say, depending on how many birds, whether you're going to have good luck or whether you're going to have bad luck or whether you're going to find some gold. So that kind of thing, counting also can come in. Next slide, please. Here on the same topic of discovering space, another activity that can be done is to model the planets. It can be done in different ways, but we are focusing on the spatial intelligence, how these are spaced, the sizes of them, how far apart they are. Kinesthetic intelligence, because we can do activities where the children themselves role play themselves to be the planets and the sun, and they've got to rotate and then they've got to go around the sun. So that kind of thing can be done here. Intrapersonal as well as interpersonal when you're working with the others. So the elemental aspect we are focusing is on the space. The STEAM activities, we can do the science. To name the planets in the solar system, you can teach them it with a rhyme so that they might remember it more easily. For technology, we can watch interactive videos. If the opportunity is available, we can maybe give them the VR so that they get a more realistic feel of what it would be like to be maybe on the moon or floating through space. For engineering, building a model, maybe clay can be used or natural, the matic can be used, and then they can paint it for the art and make it more creative. The mathematical is sequencing the order of the planets. Also, we can talk about size in mathematical concepts here. Next slide, please. So in the next activity for discovering space, we are having a rhyme, something that the children are really familiar with, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. This is one of the basics, and usually the words change so that we can teach them more things on this same tune because they're familiar with it. The musical intelligence is coming in here, so children who are more inclined to that kind of intelligence would like this activity more. They can do little activities, so we can have spatial as well as kinesthetic when they're acting out the rhyme. There's interpersonal as well as naturalistic because we are now looking at the night sky as well. So the science component here will be what are the objects in the night sky. Watch interactive videos for the technology. We can use binoculars, but if we're using during the daytime, we need to be aware of the children using binoculars. The safety of it has to be thought about. We can talk about the star patterns. If for children, just like, does it look like this animal or that kind of thing. For engineering, designing a star using building blocks. For art, we can make wax paintings of a night sky. For mathematics, can you count the stars in the night sky? How many, what number can you actually reach up to? and watch every day the sky. Then they can watch the moon, see what shapes, how it's changing, maybe have a little diary so that they go out every day and spend a couple of minutes observing the night sky. And then it would be more of a spiritual activity as well, because they would be more intrapersonal when they're at this time. Next slide, please. So, time to think and reflect. What are the activities that we can use to talk about discovering space? So, everyone would have really great ideas. These are just a few that we talked about here. So, we need to think about how we can incorporate more of the intelligences, and then the next step would be what are the STEAM activities that we can put into the basic activity that we have selected, the science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematical concepts that we can build. Next slide, please. Moving on to the next part, now we are coming into the air. So we've talked about space. Now we are looking at space and air. The first activity is breathing. This is very intrapersonal. Children can use different breathing techniques. There are various things that you can do, especially when it comes to yoga. They teach you different breathing techniques. So it's naturalistic. It can be done even outdoors. So the fresh air and all that will help the children relax more and breathe in fresh air and feel more refreshed. This is kinesthetic because they are actually, with the inhaling and all, exercising their lungs and diaphragms and all of that. So in the science component, we can talk about the nose and how we breathe, even make a simple lung using balloons, that kind of thing. Also talk about keeping your nose clean so that you don't catch colds and coughs very often. Then for technology, if it's possible to get a stethoscope for the children to hear the breathing sounds. The lung model, as I said, for the engineering using bottles and balloons. For art, you can draw trees and leaves falling, the leaves blowing around in the wind, or you can even do the activity, a blowing activity, where you use bubbles and a straw so that they're breathing and then they're creating art as well. For mathematics, they can blow balloons and find the size differences. Maybe you can play a game depending how long you can keep the balloon up afloat, time each one and make it a bit of a competition and make it a interpersonal activity as well. Next slide, please. So here we are having observations. Here we are talking about how air affects our food. So this is not directly air, but it's a way that we can incorporate it into our daily lives as well. So if food is left out in the air, what's going to happen? So we can do little activities in the classroom, leave something out a couple of days, see what happens. Then they can make a pickle, and then they can leave one pickle closed, one pickle open. They can use different kinds of leaves and plants. Scented leaves will also help them to understand this concept. This is very good for the naturalistic intelligences, and you need the spatial awareness because you're going to use these things and you're going to leave them in places. You've got to decide where is a safe place if you're using glass jars and all. Interpersonal, if you're working in a group to make your pickles. Intrapersonal, depending on what kind of leaves you like, what are the smells you don't like. It could be musical as well because you can incorporate rhymes when you're doing this kind of thing, and it is a kinesthetic activity when you're making it. So for science, we can talk about the nutritional facts of the food, how in olden days food was kept for longer because there were no freezers and fridges and artificial preservatives. So we can talk about that also. For technology, the refrigerator. What are the foods we can keep in the refrigerator? The pros and cons of it. Is it good to always keep things in the refrigerator and then eat it afterwards? That kind of thing can be discussed with the children, and activities can also be done. For engineering, rearranging the food items in the kitchen. So maybe the children can help the parents and sort a little rack for the parents to put the say the onions and the potatoes and the garlics. So using empty boxes or bottles, that kind of thing, they can create little racks or sorting areas. Keep your favorite food in the fridge and observe, then draw it on a paper. So maybe we can tell the children, even now since they've left the food out, the first day they draw it, it's a fresh fruit. And then after a couple of days, say it's a banana, and then the color changes. So then they can draw it and then compare their pictures as well. For mathematics, you can find the quantity of the food items. If you're making something, like if you're making a pickle, how many limes are you putting in, or how many, if it's a different kind of pickle, what are the ingredients you need, how much vinegar, how much sugar, that kind of quantity can be measured for mathematics. Next slide, please. So here we talked about having one bottle open and one bottle closed. See how they will preserve, which one is going to taste better, which one is going to last for longer. So naturalistic, because we are looking at it's how the fruits or vegetables, how they evolve and grow and the deterioration process of it. So it's an intrapersonal thing as well, because we have to understand how we are also not always going to be the same. We will also change, we will also get old, our skin is not going to be smooth all the time. So you can talk up to children about that kind of concept as well. Logical, because we can think about what's going to happen next. We can ask the children to predict. So for science, exploring the mechanics of lids and closures, how are we going to keep this protected and airtight? We can use different types of lids and see which is the best. What kind of container would work best? Is it a plastic container? Is it a glass container? Would a metal container work? That kind of thing we can talk about for science. Then for technology, varieties of closures, slide lids, flip lids, screw-on lids. Even the children, we can tell them to be creative, and maybe they'd come up with something we'd never even expected. For engineering, what type of bottle would you like to design? Bottles don't always have to be the shape that we expect them to be. So even the children, sometimes you even find little jars with sweets shaped like a teddy or things like that. So it can be anything. So it's the children's imagination that would be the end of how far this can go. Decorate the bottles with sequins or sequins. Sometimes we need to be careful because we are having edible things here. So later on, if the children are going to open this, whether it can get in, we need to be careful of the things that we use to decorate the bottle as well. For mathematics, we can compare the sizes of the bottles, the lids. How many things can you put into this bottle? How many can you put into the other? That kind of concept. Next slide, please. So there's another experiment here. We're going to use it with the balloons. So we are looking at the scientific concept of air in the balloon, how it can increase the volume, how much air we put into it, and the shape of the balloon and the size, how it will change. So here we can talk about the different shapes of the balloons that we can make. Uh, Even attempt to make balloon animals, if at all, to decorate the classroom or the home. Then we can draw a picture of all the balloons that we use, decorate them with colors, maybe make a papier-mâché using the balloons. We can make a mask or whatever they'd like to do with the shape of the blown up balloon. Then for mathematics, we can compare the inflated balloons and their sizes. If there is an opportunity even to use helium balloons and then see how high they will go, how long the string will be, that kind of activity. So if this is done out of doors, we can do naturalistic activities, and they would really love to see how the balloons blow away and try to keep them up. So it can be an intrapersonal activity, or you can do games and make it an interpersonal as well as a kinesthetic activity. Next slide, please. So think and reflect. Again, we're looking at a couple of activities here. Flying kites, even getting children to make sounds like shouting, because we are using the air here, so we can see different ways to shout. Are you going to feel tired? Or if you use like diaphragm breathing, can you shout for longer? Can you keep the sound for long? We can use vowel sounds when they are to like a chanting sound. Then writing in the air, it a lot of teachers use this, especially when they are going on to introducing the letters, draw the letter in the air, because we've learned that there is air within us also. There's air within us, there's air outside of us. So when we are writing on this air, we get a connection. And in when children are processing this, it's actually very helpful. So there are lots of activities that we can think and incorporate the multiple intelligences as well as the STEAM activities. Thank you.
Thank you, Vimali. Yeah, fiery fun. How fire is used in multiple intelligence, and how we are going to see what element is used in this. So here we can see an activity, nature walk. So a sun, morning sun, nature walk, walking or having a beautiful walk in the playground or ground in our out in the nursery, or otherwise outside in the park or somewhere. So here we can see multiple intelligence. When we walk, our body moves, so that kinesthetic intelligence is developed. And also children know the space, so that spatial intelligence also developed. And also we go in a walk in the morning, so see the birds and beautiful air, the cool air, sun rays. So naturalistic intelligence also developed. Here when we take elements, we can see now morning walk outside, so space is there, and also we see the sun, so fire, and also we feel the air, so that element air, Panchabhutas, out of Panchabhutas, 3 elements we can see in this fiery fun activity. And also when we apply in STEAM, in science we can see how we can explain the uses of the sun. And also in technology, we can make some solar powered toys, and we can use and show them how these toys are work with solar power, sun's power. And also for engineering, we can do a solar panel, or we can make a solar panel and show them how it works. And art, we can draw a sunrise or sunset, evening beach or morning scenery, and different types of sceneries during morning, evening or afternoon. And also when we take mathematics, we can use shadows during the time of the day, how the shadows become big, or sizes of the shadows, long, short. These things we can see, and the position of the shadow during the time of the day, in the morning, in the afternoon, or at night, how it comes. Next slide, please. Yeah, there is another activity, cooking. This also related to fire. So when cooking, we have vegetables, fruits, or some kind of spices and everything. And so naturalistic intelligence is developed here, and also spatial intelligence. And when cooking, our body moves, so kinesthetic intelligence is more developed. And also when it cooks alone, so intrapersonal intelligence is developed. Because you have to think by yourself of how to add salt and what to do, whether it is stirring or taking off from the fire. So intrapersonal intelligence is developed. And when we cook together as a group, with family or with friends, or whatever, as a group, interpersonal intelligence also developed. And also when we take the elements, fire is there. We are talking about fiery fun. So cooking, the cooker, the fire is there, and also space and air. So that elements, there are 3 elements included in this activity. And also when we take STEAM, we can teach the children in science why we cook, what are the nutrients we get, if the from the nutrients, what energy, what things, what are the benefits we get to the body. And when we take technology, how gas stove is used, how what fire hearth is used, so we can explain them. And also we can take different types of cookers that use fire. we can do engineering in the school. Normally, when we play New Year games, when we celebrate New Year, we boil the milk in the hearth so that we can see how it is done. And arts, when we take arts, we can decorate a fruit salad plate, otherwise make sandwiches, cupcake. These things can be done. And when we take mathematics, we can measure while cooking, or when we having this fruit salad day, when we can count the fruits. We can cut into one apple. When we take an apple, we can tell that we can cut into 8 or 6 pieces, so that the mathematics intelligence also can be done here in STEAM. And when we take pink, next slide please. Yeah, you can see here a fire extinguisher. So we can show what are the intelligence when we see it's naturalistic and spatial, kinesthetic, and linguistic language we use. And matchbox, we can use matchbox fire in extinguisher, and we can show gas cylinders where we get fuel, and fire extinguisher we can show how when there is a fire broke out, how to use this and what's the uses of this, the safety measures, everything. And when we take elements, space is used here, Panchabhutas, out of Panchabhutas, and fire, however, this is our subject in this activity, and air also used here. And when we take steam, we can show the fire extinguisher, how they put off fire. We can show them how it is used. And also for technology, we can show them, we can teach them the parts of the fire extinguisher, the cylinder and the tube, and how the gas comes, where the gas is stored, everything. And engineering, design and art using matchsticks. Yeah, we can use some matchsticks and we can make some designs on the ground or on the table. And also when we take arts, we can make a costume parade of safety measures, the helmet, the boots, the gloves, how to use them, we can show that. And mathematics, we can count the steps from the fire extinguisher to the classroom. And we can count the matchsticks, how many matchsticks are in the matchbox, that matchbox. So that much, if it is more, we can take them 10 or 20 bundles and also can show them to count. Next slide, please. Yes, so we can see here, think and reflect. We can make lots of activities as teachers. So there you can see the wire can make circuits, electrical circuits, and also can tell them about the lightning related to fire, and hot, cold things, what is hot, what is cold, how to use, what are the safety measures can be taken when we use hot things. These things can be done and make a lot of STEAM activities related to fire. Next slide, please.
Thank you,
Yes, over
Dilshad.
to you, Shazna.
Yeah, thank you. So now we are going to see about the water wonders, splish, splash, and learn. So water splash. So when you splash the water, you can see the naturalistic. So for an example, if you go near to a river, so you can see the nature, how it looks like. And kinesthetic activity means you're taking your hand and you're splashing the water. And musical, when it comes for musical, you can see there is a musical sound in water. Imagine in a waterfall. And logical means you can see like how the formation of the water, how it is like the modeling of the water. So the like how the river flows, the shape of it. Logically, we can think. The Panchabhuta elements aspect, you can see here the space, fire, air, and water. And when we apply this water splash activity into STEAM education for science, we can see the form of water. Then it comes for the technology, water pumps and motors. For engineering, we can see modeling water fountains. Again, for art, creating art using watercolors, sponge painting, and dabbing. And even for mathematics, we can see the measuring the cups in water. Next, we are going to see the swimming. So for swimming, the intelligence, what we are going to do is naturalistic. Yes, you are going to, maybe you can swim in a river, you can swim in a swimming pool, outdoor or in a sea. And then the spatial means like the gaps, how you swim, how you're going to keep your hands, the way, the strokes, so how you form. The kinesthetic means you're moving your body and you're doing the activity. And then intrapersonal means you're doing the activity alone. So again, the elements are space, fire, air, and water. So here you can see the properties of water when it comes to science. In STEAM education, we can teach about technology, being the water purifier. And then we can, for engineering, we can take the modeling of water pumps and river flowing. For art, we can this sponge dabbing we can do. And then again for mathematics, we can like filling bottles without spilling. We can do these kind of activities for when you're applying for STEAM education. Next comes actually, this is not related to swimming. I think this is kind of knitting, maybe knitting a dough. Okay, knitting a dough means like you're taking some flowers, you're going to do it. Maybe you can do that, or you can say you can be taking the sand, you're putting some water, and you're doing something, a craft, or just say pot clay craft or something like that. So naturalistically, spatial means how you're going to make it. The kinesthetic, you're using your hands. Then intrapersonal means you're doing the activity alone. Again, you can see the space, fire, air, water. In STEAM education, food we eat. Yes, you can use, for an example, when I say eating a dough, you can use flour. And you can just tell me the properties of flour, what kind of flour you're going to use. Again, for the technology, you can say the water purifier. And for engineering, you can be using the dough constructing. And for arts, making models out of shapes. So for an example, you're kneading a dough and making some cookies. So you can like make the cookies in different shapes. And again comes for the mathematics also, yes, as I said before, you can make the cookies in a circle shape, oval shape, triangle, according to the child's wish. And next comes think and reflect. So you can see here, think and reflect about drinking the water. What you can see, what kind of STEAM activity you can apply. Again, when it comes for a drawing using the water, what kind of STEAM activity you can apply, you can think and reflect. Next, we are going to speak about the X, Earth Explorer, discovering the nature. Nature walk. Normally, we do that in our class. So here, naturalistic activity, you're taking the children outdoor to a park or to forest or to a garden. Then the spatial, they are looking at the, the distance. They are looking at their steps, how they have to keep the kinesthetic, they are moving their body. Sometimes they can go and run. They can jump in the park. Then intrapersonal means like sometimes they like to sit alone and walk. They like to walk alone. They can observe. Likewise, then interpersonal, again, when they are going together. So they can have a talk, they can talk to each other, and they can walk around. Then again, the elements are space, fire, air, water, and earth. So as I said, for STEAM education, you can apply for science, observation of the plants and animals. Then again, for the technology, watching Discovery channels. So through watching Discovery channels, the children can observe like what kind of different places are there, how the river, what kind of animals are there. For engineering, collect the materials like leaf twigs and explore the materials. For engineering, they can collect the materials and see what kind of it, how it is, the shape of it. And then for art, create art using above materials. So above, through collecting leaf twigs, they can like make a, like as we last time we saw during the activity, through the leaf they made a bird. Through the leaf you can make a craft, or like maybe imagine a dress. Again, for counting, you can count the petals in a flower. You can count the stones, leaves, etc. When you walk around, you can see the nature. Throughout the nature, you can count everything. And then planting a tree. So it's like planting a tree. It's also a naturalistic where you will plant the tree in an outdoor activity. And the spatial thing, you're digging a hole. You're doing the activity using your what according the according the root level, how much you're going to dig the hole, the kinesthetic, you're using your body movements and doing intrapersonal. Sometimes you will water the plant alone. Interpersonal, sometimes you can plant the plant a cord with your friend, so that you can do. Again, the elements are space, fire, air, water, and earth. So when it applies this planting a tree into the STEAM education, what we can see is observation of a plant growing. So you can see the observation of a plant growing. When it comes to technology, watching different species or different types of plants, you can see. Again, engineering, creating a water system using the waste materials. So that also you can do. For art, leaf painting, pasting, leaf rubbing you can do. And then for measuring, for mathematics, you can see measure the size of the plant as it grows. You can see. So again, explore and discover. You can see about the earth, like how you will keep your environment clean, and then you can then make the child to draw a painting based on this nature, and you can do a small reflect and thing. So that's it for today's webinar. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone. Welcome back to Module 3, Lecture 5, Sensorial Activities in Connection with Nature. Next slide, please. This lecture was presented by Mrs. Padmaja YV. She is a teacher, educator, and facilitator in teaching phonics. She is also a video editor and works at the Sharada Vidyalaya Public School in India. Next slide, please. This will be presented by myself, Vimuri Nugegoda. and my friends Fatima Shazna Rafi, Dilshad Siddiqa, and Dulanji Dahanayaka. Next slide, please. So, looking at sensorial activities and connection with nature, we're going to talk about the 5 elements or the Panchabhutas as well as the Panchajnanendriyas, which are the sensory organs. So, what are the 5 elements? Sky, fire, water, earth. Now, here we are also looking deeper into it. What does sky really mean? Sky means the space and connectivity that we have with the things that are around us. Sky also gives us sound, and the air is light and moving. It's all constantly moving things around. It's mobile. For example, the wind and our breath. Again, going on to fire. Fire is transformative and energetic. For example, the sunlight and the fire. The next is water. It is fluid and cohesive. For example, like in rivers and rain. The next one is earth, which is solid and stable. For example, soil and rocks. So what are the Panchajnanendriyas or the 5 sensory organs that we use to grasp these Panchabhutas from outside to within us? They are the ears, skin, eyes, tongue, and nose. Next slide, please. Now we are looking at it here in depth. We can see clearly on the left side we have the Panchabhuta, sky, and the Pancha Tanmatras. This is the connection that the Panchabhuta has with us and how it comes into our Panchajnanendriyas. How does it connect within us? So when we take the sky is connected to sound because everything sound carries in waves through the air. So this sky produces the sound which comes to our Panchajnanendriyan, which is our ears. The second one is air. Like I said, the sound comes, but here the component of touch is also incorporated because we start to feel the air on our skin. So here we come to the Panchajnanendriyan of our skin. So we have sound that comes to our ears, touch which comes to our skin. Third one is fire. This has a sound. We can hear the crackling of the fire. We can feel the heat, the touch. We can feel heat of the fire. And now fire also has a form. So the visual aspect of it comes in. And now we can see it, we can feel it, as well as we can hear it. The next one is water. Water has sound. We can hear the water. We can touch and feel the water. Water has a form. We can see the water. And water also gives us taste. So now we have 4 sensory organs: ears, skin, eyes, and the tongue for taste. The fifth one, the 5th element is earth, which incorporates sound, touch, form, taste, as well as smell. Now, the earth has a smell. This is very apparent, especially when it's been dry for a while and it starts to rain, and you can smell the earth at that time. So now we come into the Jnanendriya of our nose. Next slide, please. So sensorial activities for space and hearing. So we can do cloud watching, star watching, and rainbow formations. Now these are very spiritual or intrapersonal activities as well, because you are within yourself while you are looking at what is outside of you. So we start to connect these things that are outside and what is inside. The cloud watching, it helps you to look at things and identify what you see in it. Everyone will see it differently because what the way they see and perceive things are different. Star watching, again, it's very calming, it's silent. The sounds that you hear in the night are not the sounds that you hear during the day. Then rainbow formation. Here we get the rain. You start to hear the pitter patter of the raindrops falling, and then the sun has come out soon after the rain, and a rainbow forms. So we are looking up at the sky, and we are getting to feel and hear what is there as well. Next slide, please. So the experience of sunrise and sunset, this is mostly very interesting if you are able to go to the seaside, because the sunrise, you can see the different colors and the different hues that will come into it. And even at sunset, the different colors and the shades, even the sound of the waves will be different depending on whether it is sunrise or the sunset. You can tell the children to close their eyes and think about the sounds they can hear, especially when they come to school in the morning. What are the birds they hear in the morning? What are the birds they hear at night? So, this is getting the children to connect with what is outside of them. It's a very mindful building activity because the children are within themselves while they are also aware of what is happening without. Okay, thank you. Next slide, please.
Yeah. When we take air, Panchabhutas, air, and it is connected to Panchatanmatras, touch and feel. So Panchabhuta air connected to Panchatanmatra, touch, and also the sense organ is skin. We feel the air, we feel the breeze, so that we can do lots of activities in our school with kids related to air, and we can ask them to feel the breeze, morning breeze. So the teacher can take the children under a tree and also in a mountain, to the mountains. And if the school is in the countryside, there are lots of places to take and go. And at the seaside, you can take to the seaside to feel the air, feel the breeze, the wind, so that there are lots of activities we can do. So when we take experience air under a tree or beneath a tree, you can see how the trees sway to and fro, and we can tell children also to act like trees, keeping their hands both sides and can sway here and there like trees. So it connect to our multiple intelligence also as kinesthetic and interpersonal when we are doing as a group, and intrapersonal because they should move at a rhythm, so that these things, sensorial activities, we can connect with multiple intelligence too. And when we do morning walk, we can see the morning, we can feel the morning breeze, and also we can see the sun rays how come through the trees, and also we can hear the bird sound. So however, the breeze, the wind feels by the kids in the morning. And also when we take some activities related to air, we can fly kites. I think most of the schools fly kites during the month of August, because we know in the month of August there is a very good wind to fly kites. So there are competitions has organized by medias and also schools as well. And also we can do some activities using cotton wool, feathers, blow in the air, so that children love to play these things. The cotton wools and feathers just blow up in the air and they like to play. Sometimes they go behind the feather without falling down, they may touch and again blow up. So that kinesthetic and interpersonal, intrapersonal, logical intelligence also can be developed through these activities. Next slide, please. Yes, at the seaside, we told the lot of activities can be done, flying kites, and just feel the wind. And there are lots of activities can be done in the seaside, at the seaside, and also we can see at the park there are lots of activities, swing, run and catch. These things we can do here, and they feel the air here. And also we can use wind propeller, the flower-like wind propeller, and run in the seaside or somewhere where is very good wind, so that the children can see how the propeller moves, how the propeller go round, blow when the wind blows. So it's a very good activity. And also we can blow soap bubbles and see how it goes in the air. Next slide, please. Yes, sensorial activities of fire and sight. Yes, we know fire, Panchabhuta fire gives the Panchatanmatra is image, the rupa, the form. So we can see image from our eyes. So Panchananendriya connected to fire is eyes. So fire gives image, the images we can see from eyes. Here you can see there is a very beautiful activity, sunbathing. So Sri Lankans are very lucky. We have sunlight throughout the year. So this activity we can do in the morning. If there is we have different environment in Sri Lanka, so that the schools that's close to the side coastal area can take them to beach, so that there are lots of activities to be done. So enjoying the morning sun also can be done. How sun rays falls on trees and come to earth like orange rays. Morning walking can be done. And it also we can tell children when the morning sun rays falls to the body, we get vitamin D, and vitamin D is good for your bones and teeth. It develops your skeletal system, so that children like to stand or take the sunlight, morning sunlight, because most of the children do not like to stand in assembly, morning assembly, so that we can tell the children, the kids, how sunlight is useful. Morning sun rays are useful to get this vitamin D. Next slide, please. It's over to you, Shansi. Sorry. Water. So water, the Panchabhuta water, and the Panchatanmatra is taste, and the Panchananendriya is tongue. Yes, we feel, we taste the water. So when we take the sensorial activities, we can show the pictures of sources of water, rain, a waterfall, river. So these sources of water we can see, tap water. We get mostly in city area, we get pipe-borne water. So we can ask them to draw pictures, and we can explain the sources of water. And also we can let the children to taste different types of water, well water, tap water, spring water, so that children feel different taste of water. Also, we can make them understand how water is important and precious. Wasting water is so bad, so that how to save water. And we also can show how water purifies. And another activity we can take, water water game, water day, so that children we can take the children to a swimming pool, or if it is in a village area, the children can be taken to a small stream and enjoy the water. So there is a multiple intelligence also can be developed, interpersonal, and kinesthetic activities also can be developed from these sensorial activities. And also normally we do these water games during our New Year also. Normally we fill water bottles using our two hands. We tell children to fill the water as a group activity game, so that there are lots of sensorial activities can be done related to water. Next slide, please. Yes, you can see a stream, and also the seaside. and rain also. So lots of activities can be experienced by the children if we make outdoor and indoor activities, and it also can connect to STEAM activities as well. Next slide, please.
Yes,
Yes, over
thank
to
you,
you,
Dilshad. So it's about earth and smell. So when it comes for earth in Panchabhutta, Panchajnana, where we have the touch, smell, sight, hearing, and taste. So here you can see smelling flowers in the garden. So you can say the children can smell different smell. They can identify the different smell of the flowers. And then the next picture you can see explore soil digging. So the children can explore the different types of soil. For an example, garden soil, clay soil, sand soil. So they can discuss about the different textures of the soil. Next activity, seedling a plant. So the children can plant a flower and then they can observe how the plant is growing. So they can see that as well. Then experiencing, as I said, experiencing the different types of soils the children can see. And then comes the walking through a wood. So through this activity, the children can see the different leaves, stones, seeds, and sort of like the texture, the size, and the colors the children can experience through walking through the wood. Again, building a sand castle. So this encourage the children to make a shape, a small structure using a mud. So they can using a mud or sand, they can make like a sand castle. So when it comes again, another sensory activity, they like play in the mud. The children can explore, play in the mud. So it is also increase the child's curiosity about the natural elements. Then walking on barefoot. So when the child walk on barefoot, the child can feel like the how when it sometimes like when the child walks on a rock, the child might feel it's difficult. When the child walks in a grass, the child might feel okay. This just might be like kind of comfortable. So that also we can do walking on the barefoot. Over to you, Dulanji.
Thank you, teacher. Now we are talking about multi-sensory activities from the kitchen items. Actually, in the kitchen items here, normally we all have the spices, the chili powder, spicy, salt, melty, bitter, sweet, tamarind, sour. Likewise, these kind of spices and ingredients. From these ingredients, you can create a lot of multisensory activities, right? Tasting activities, some kind mixing activities, mixing components together, and see these kind of things can be done with these kitchen activities. The next slide, please. Boxes in kitchen. Actually, normally we have plastic boxes, steel boxes, hot box, water bottles. Likewise, from those kind of boxes, you can like put something into the boxes. Let's take tamarind seeds. You can put it inside these kind of plastic boxes or cardboard boxes or steel boxes, and different sounds are coming from these boxes, and you can fill water. You can see the level of the water. Different kinds of liquids can be added. Likewise, the texture can be seen. So these kind of multisensory activities can be done from the boxes in the kitchen. Next slide, please. From the beverages in kitchen, multisensory activities that we can create from the beverages in the kitchen itself. These are some of the common beverages that we all have in our kitchens: hot coffee, cold coffee, ice cream, ice cubes, chocolate, sugar, jaggery flour, and all these. From these kind of beverages, we can create a lot of multisensory activities. You can taste them. You can like mix some kind of components together and see the different tastes that you can get cold coffee and ice cubes if you taste, and what are the feelings that you can feel. You can talk to children from these kind of beverages in the kitchen. Next slide, please. Yeah, dishes in the kitchen. Actually, when you done cooking or before cooking, you can take raw and cooked vegetables, right? You can let the child to explore what is the texture of the raw vegetables and what is the texture of what is the feeling that you can get from cooked vegetables. What is the smell? The smells are different to one another. The sweets are there. You can smell the sweet things. And rice and dal, what we are like in Sri Lanka. In here you can see pani puri, samosa, those kind of Indian foods. But in Sri Lanka also we have varieties of different types of different tastes, different textures, and different colors of dishes in our kitchens we are making. So you can differentiate and you can let the children to explore, and you can create a lot of multisensory activities, right? Even from the fruits itself, you can make fruit juices, you can make pickles from salads, from like vegetables and all. You can develop a lot of multisensory activities. Next slide, please. Yeah, ingredients in the kitchen. Normally we have grains, spices, herbs, sprouts, vegetables, fruits, oils, nuts and seeds. So these kind of ingredients, from these kind of ingredients, we can create lots and lots of activities, multisensory activities, counting the seeds, the sorting the spices, seeds, and like pouring in the sense into one bowl to another. You can use a spoon, you can use some kind of some another tools when we are using in kitchen equipments. Then you can sort the herbs, you can cut it, and likewise you can do so many multisensory activities from the ingredients that we already have in kitchens. Next slide, please. Yeah, these are the elements of activities for children. In this session, we talked about a lot of important things to be known, and we can definitely improve our knowledge with these kind of platform. And we were really, really thankful to the Janaka Kamalgoda sir and all the other staff members who are creating this platform to speak for us. And thank you so much for having this wonderful session with us. Thank you. Thank you again.